All right, today we're going to be cooking some homemade chicken noodle soup. And these are all the items you're going to need. Starting off with some poultry seasoning, some bouillon cubes, chicken, and I get those from Aldi's. And I'm going to use about 6 of them in this big pot that I'm cooking. And then we're going to need some thyme. That is the key to that specific taste in the chicken noodle soup. Parsley, basil, adobo, which is my seasoning of choice. You can choose yours. It could be seasoning, salt, or whatever you choose. Some turmeric. You already know we gotta have the garlic. You can use fresh garlic or powdered garlic. It's up to you. Onion powder. And then we have the infamous black pepper. And a whole onion. This is like a nice large onion. We have some egg noodles from Dollar Tree, guys. And we have some celery from Aldi's. And I think I'm going to use about 3 to 4 of these. And these are nice size, so yeah. We're going to go with 4. I love celery in my chicken noodle soup. And then we have some baby carrots. And we're going to use half of that. And last but not least, we have the chicken. We're going to use some chicken breast. And that is what you're going to need to make this homemade tasty chicken noodle soup. Now we're going to start off by getting this chicken breast nice and cooked. And we're going to cut the stove on medium heat. And we're going to get a pan. And I'm going to put the chicken breast inside the pan. And then we're going to let that cook in some water, which basically we're boiling it to make it tender and fall apart and all that good stuff. Now, chicken has a lot of fat and all this crazy crap in it, guys. I'm so over chicken from anywhere. It seems like it's just not right. But I think Whole Foods may be my key. But anyhow, you're going to put in the water and you're going to boil this and till it starts to fall apart. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, to make sure it's seasoned, I'm going to add some salt, kosher salt from Dollar Tree. I have been now using more of the pink Himalayan salt. And I'm going to get rid of this salt and not buy it anymore after this. So now I'm going to wash off the celery really good. And then it's time to chop these up and get them ready for the soup. Now, the choice is yours on what size you want yours to be. I love to use my chopper for everything. It makes things so much easier. So it's up to you how you want to chop them. Now we're going to move along to the carrots. And we're going to rinse these off thoroughly. I don't care if they say they've been rinsed off. We always rinse stuff off here. I rinse my ground turkey. I rinse everything. So we're going to use half of those because my daughter's in the background saying, "Mommy, don't use them all. Don't use them all," because she liked to dip them in ranch. So yeah, we're going to rinse these and get these bad boys chopped as well. You already know we've seen chopping before. So we're just going to speed this on up and go to the next vegetable. And it is going to be the onion. I'm going to be using my slicer on this as well, and we want this to be sort of like a finely chopped onion, so we're gonna go with the thinner blades and get this onion chopped up and ready for this soup as well. This thing was acting funky. I don't know what it was doing, but it was chopping, but it wasn't chopping the way it should. I think I was pressing too hard, or either I didn't lock the actual mince part in, but anywho, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. I just went ahead and got my knife and chopped those onions real fine on my own. But anyways, those are my vegetables. And this is what the chicken is looking like. Do you guys see all that fat and nastiness? This is why I boil all my breasts, or either I just have to boil it first before I do whatever with it, and I put a little salt in it to hopefully keep the taste. And it doesn't make a big difference when I boil it, but I had to scrape this stuff off several times. That is not going into my chicken. You see the big nasty bubbles on this chicken? Just disgusting, guys. Like, if you're buying it from Sam's or any place like that, just make sure you boil it really thoroughly and get all of that fat and whatever chemicals they put in this chicken out of it. And then use your chicken for whatever it's going to be, pulled chicken sandwiches or whatever. I have to get all this crap out of the chicken first, so that's what I'm doing. So now that I have boiled it several times and got all the fat out of it, now it's time for me to rinse it off in the sink and get all of that fat and crap off of it. This is where I like to run hot water on it and rub it off and get all that mess off of this chicken. This is what I'm doing at this moment. I know it's kind of foggy, but yeah, I'm using the hot water to rinse it and get all that off of the chicken so we can prepare it for the soup. Alright guys, so we're going to turn the stove on medium heat, put the pot back on and add the celery and then add the carrots. We don't want to add the onions just yet. We don't want them to be too overcooked and too soggy in the soup. Now it's time to add the spices, and we have thyme, and that's about a good tablespoon of thyme, a good teaspoon of basil, a good tablespoon of parsley, a good teaspoon of garlic, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And the onion powder was acting up, and that's about a good half a teaspoon of onion powder, a good teaspoon of adobo, and a half a teaspoon of turmeric, and a half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. And now it's time to open up the bouillon cubes and get that all in there. And this is going to be the base of the soup, guys. This is the base of the soup. And we add a little bit more turmeric. I didn't think it was enough, so we add another half a teaspoon, and we're gonna let that cook. Now what we're gonna do is I'm going to cut off all this nasty parts of this chicken breast, all the dark pieces, all the tendons and all that ilky stuff. We're gonna cut that out. Now at this point you can chop yours up into cubes or whatever you desire, but I don't like to. I like to put it inside of my broth, my base, and let it continue to cook and fall apart. And then this is where I add my onions. Now do you see the chicken? Guys, it is falling apart. This is the key. This is the key. When I say this is such a simple meal to make, it tastes so much better the next day after that base has marinated those noodles, which it's not time to put them in yet. You want to put them in last because you don't want your noodles overcooked and soggy. So we're not going to put them in just yet. We're just letting this meat and all these vegetables get kind of tender, and then that's when it's time to put it in. So you see that container from Dollar Tree is all I'm using for this actual meal. Now we're gonna let this cook, and we're gonna put the cover back on it, and we'll be back to see it in a few minutes. But basically it's done. When those noodles are nice and tender, you have your soup. So here it is a few minutes later, and the noodles are still kind of stiff and firm. So we're gonna let it cook a little bit longer, and we should be ready, guys. Let's get a round of applause for this rumbling, boiling soup that is done. Yes, I remember Granddad used to make this for me when I was not feeling well. Guys, this is a great soup. It tastes better the next day. And as you know, that bowl is for Miss Arizma. She is waiting by my side. If your children love ramen noodles, this is another alternative to get those vegetables in them. I promise you, they will love this soup. They can heat it up themselves. You can also freeze this, but if you decide to freeze it, do not cook your noodles all the way. So that way they won't get extra soggy from being reheated. If you guys like this, make sure you thumbs up, share this video, share my channel, and if you decide to make it, let me know below how it turned out for you. If you have any questions, let me know below and I will get back to you. Guys, thank you for being a part of my Reviver family. If you are new, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope my Revivers enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you thumbs up. And guess what, guys? This is where your girl is on social media, but before you go, check out these great videos I have lined up.